My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review for Spider-Man 2, and this review will have spoilers, so that's your warning. But this is one of those few games I bought the minute it was released. I was very excited for this game, and I actually think it sucks and it's immensely overrated. Well, let's just get to the best part. The best part is the free roaming. It has never been better than it is in this game. The web wings are a complete game changer, and the way you can do loop de loops and you can slingshot, just all of that makes for such a better traveling system. So that was great. The combat is good, but I kind of feel like it gets old after a while. It is very button mashy. So when the enemies are getting more and more difficult, I don't find it gets more and more fun. I just find it gets more and more frustrating. Like there's only so many different ways I can press these buttons. I don't like the over reliance on parry, and I'll get to that a bit more in a sec. I thought the puzzles were pretty good. I like the magnets where you have to hold down L2 and R2, and I liked isolating samples. The side missions kind of suck. The Mysterio ones are just frustrating. I think the MJ missions are a bit better here. And the graphics are very hit or miss. Like, they're not to the quality they should be for the PS5. Like, when that opening scene with Miles and Peter in the classroom, and I'm just like, how is this a brand new big game? Like, this actually looks like shit right now. Like, lots of the times, the faces look so undetailed, just little care put into them. So, they still look great most of the time, but they have moments where it really took me out. But I got two big issues with this game. The first one is the boss fights. Everybody seems to be praising the boss fights here, and I can't comprehend why. It was the worst aspect to the gameplay, and it almost completely ruined the game for me. You know what? In fact, it did. These are some of the worst boss fights ever, in my opinion. Like, every single one is the exact same, and it's just excessive. You get to the end of the Hell Spa, and guess what? That's not it. You have to do it again immediately after, and immediately after, and immediately after. It's just, I got tired of it. Like, there's only so many times I can dodge, R1, R1, punch, 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 dodge, before I got sick of it. Lizard, you have to fight him 3 times. Mr. Negative, you do it 3 times in the same arena. Kraven the Hunter, twice, and it was just annoying. And then you go from that boss fight to Peter and Miles fighting 3 different times. And then you fight MJ 4 times with the exact same gameplay and the exact same technique over and over again. And then you fight Venom like what, 6 times? Like, it's just too fucking much. Way too much. I do not understand. Like, it's just excessive. It is way too much. But my other big issue with this game is the story. I think it's legitimately awful, and I think over time it will be viewed back on as such. Like, the Sandman opening is a good way to begin the game. I do wish you saw more citizens getting in harm's way, but still, exciting start. And then I'll begin talking about Kraven the Hunter, because he is the best part of this game. He is a great villain, he's menacing, and I just love the way he's written. How he actually wants to be beaten. He wants to find the ultimate predator who he can't defeat. And when Venom bites his head off just beforehand, he thanks him. It's just some fantastic writing that I truly loved. Now, what I don't love is the fact that he killed like 4 or 5 of the big Spider-Man villains off screen. Like, really? You're gonna kill Scorpion, Shocko, Electro, Vulture, and Rhino off like that? Are you kidding me right now? That didn't sit right with me. And then I thought it was very odd he knew about Black Cat but not Spider-Man. But then we get to the black suit, and I don't like the fact that he gets the black suit so late into the game. It just feels like it took forever to get to that point. I do like that Peter was killed and the black suit saved him. But also, Peter wasn't really hateful or angry prior to him getting the black suit. So I feel like that was lacking. I do like it when he's actually like chasing down MJ trying to hold her, and then it turns out Peter's asleep. Reminded me of the Spectacular Spider-Man. But then there's no real discussions about it afterwards. And then after that, he just yells and punches extra hard, and that's him turning to the dark side. Like, really? If you're gonna have Spider-Man turn bad, then make him be bad. You know, he should have killed Kraven or many others. Or you should have actually like committed, but instead they just went a ballless direction. It was cowardly, and it's just not willing to go to the places that make for great stories. And then I should bring up Peter and Harry. I didn't like Harry's inclusion at all. I felt like he was portrayed so over the top, so good, so nice, and he had the black suit then, and then he gets the black suit again at the end. So why wasn't he evil at the start? It doesn't make any bit of sense to me. I don't like the fact that he was fighting side by side with Peter. That was pretty lame. And then Harry just decides to hate Peter because why not? Because he has to turn into Venom. Like, one moment Harry's trying to save him, and then he asks Peter for the suit and he can't get it off him, and then now Harry despises him. Okay, and then we get to Harry turning into Venom, and just none of this worked for me. I thought Venom was just an empty character. It never felt like Harry was there. It never felt like he was motivated. It felt like he was evil for the sake of it. And I prefer when he has a vendetta against Peter and he tries to make his life a living hell. But you don't get that. You get this symbiote alien invasion, which could have been good, but it feels really rushed. You know, there was a moment where he turns MJ into Scream, and that could have been cool if it lasted longer, because that happens and then it's immediately fixed, so it has no weight behind it. And then it turns out the meteorite can just destroy some of the city. Like, where was this established? It wasn't. So yeah, I didn't really care for Venom, and playing as him was really boring to me. I'm glad it didn't last too long. And what you just got here, the classic case of trying to do too much. The Kraven plot, being a sequel to Spider-Man, being a sequel to Spider-Man Miles Morales, setting up Harry, the black suit, Venom, symbiote invasion. It's too much. It's very unfocused. And then it also spends time introducing side missions with Mysterio and Prowler and plans. And then you've got a Black Cat mission that exists only to really tell us she likes girls now, and that was unneeded. Like, there's a more streamlined version of this game where Peter turns into Venom and Miles has to fight him, or Kraven turns into Venom. And I feel like both of those games would be much better and more focused than what we got. And then we've got Norman Osborn, who is written in such a pathetic manner. Like, in the first game, he's evil, evil, evil. And now he's sad and he's nice, and it's just like, there's no continuity here, clearly. And he doesn't know that Peter is Spider-Man when Spider-Man's with MJ at the very end of the game, and now Norman hates Spider-Man and now he turns evil. Like, this franchise does not handle characters turning evil well. Like, even look, someone like Kurt Connors. He turns into the Lizard, but it has no weight behind it because he isn't properly developed. We never get to know the character before this bad stuff happens, so it just is an empty attempt. And then we've got Mary Jane, who has some relationship drama with Peter, and none of that really worked for me. It's too far off in the background, and when she screams and she starts arguing with Peter, I'm just like, is this the symbiote talking or MJ? Because it's a little unclear. And then you've got Miles Morales, who has a revenge quest against Lee, and it's just terribly handled. I don't buy it for a second. And then he's just given nothing to do. He has to stop a robbery at a museum. He's trying to finish his essay, and it's just like, come on. Like, this is the best you can do with this character. It felt like he was in here out of obligation instead of interweaving him into the story in a meaningful way. And that would have been fixed if Peter was Venom. Just saying. And then we get to Peter Parker himself, and I hate the handling of him. I already criticized the usage of the black suit, but they also weakened him quite a bit. I felt like he got his ass kicked 90% of this game. And like, what's his character arc here? He's trying to be a teacher at the start, and he gets fired, and then at the end of the game, he retires as Spider-Man to focus on fighting climate change and to be with Mary Jane. Like, I despise that ending. That is everything that Spider-Man isn't. It goes against everything that the character stands for. So, hated that. And then you just left wondering, well, what is this game about? Is it about how with great power comes focusing on your own relationships and not helping others? Because that's what it seems like. Like, the first game can be summed up based on a line from Arcane. We lost ourselves, lost our dreams. In the pursuit of great, we failed to do good. And it just kind of feels like they're trying to do that same thing with Harry here, but not as well. It's just a retread, and it has nothing else to say about losing yourself in darkness or forgiveness or anything. It pretends it's about balance, but it's really not, and it's just very thematically empty. And then the characters just have no edge to them. Like, everyone is this perfect version of themselves without the symbiotes. Peter, perfect, super positive, great. Harry, same deal. MJ, same deal. They all feel phony. They don't feel like real, actual people. There's no conflict. And just this overwhelming positivity make the characters feel really fake. So yes, that was a long review, but that's why I hate this game. I think it completely mishandles the characters. I think it's trying to do way too much and it's just one giant disaster. I think the boss fights are just excessive and way too much and just annoying with not an ounce of creativity in them. And sure, you've got yourself some good free roaming and whatnot, but all the negatives really take away from any bit of enjoyment I got from this game. I'm giving Spider-Man 2 a 4 out of 10. Okay, have you played Spider-Man 2? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon, and Gavin out.